World War I. He received the Medal of Honor for leading an attack on a German machine gun nest, taking 32 machine guns, killing 28 German soldiers, and capturing 132 others. Now, this is how he recalled this one battle during World War I. And those machine guns were spitting fire and cutting down the undergrowth all around me, something awful. And the Germans were yelling orders. You never heard such a racket in all your life. I didn't have time to dodge behind a tree or dive into a brush. As soon as the machine guns opened fire on me, I began to exchange shots with them. There were over 30 of them in continuous action, and all I could do was touch the Germans off as fast as I could. I was sharp shooting. All the time I kept yelling at them to come down. I didn't want to kill any more than I had to. But it was they or I, and I was giving them the best I had. Really, I think the best comment there, or the most important comment is, but it was they or I, and I was giving them the best I had. The thing that I do find very interesting is, by the way, depending on the version that Alan York says, because Alan York once said that in his diary, York wrote that he refused to sign documents provided by his pastor seeking a discharge from the army on religious grounds, and refused to sign similar documents provided by his mother. He also disclaimed ever having been a conscientious objector. According to some of the research that was done on it when he registered for the draft, he said, do you claim exemption from draft specified grounds by writing, yes, don't want to fight. So, again, it depends on the story. But the important line here, I didn't want to kill any more than I had to, but it was they or I, and I was giving them the best I had. What does it mean? Well, it means basically that in war, it was they or I. And in war, on the opposite side, you have to think of those on the opposite side as the enemy, or else you're not going to survive. Because it's important to realize that, yeah, you have to survive. It's kill or be killed. And it is an unfortunate situation. As General William Tecumseh Sherman said to the mayor and councilman of Atlanta, before he burned Atlanta to the ground during the Civil War, you cannot qualify war in harsher terms than I will. War is cruelty, and you cannot refine it. And those who brought war into our country deserve all the curses and maledictions a people can pour out. So what does that say? Well, as Sherman also said, war is hell. Now, it is easy for people to sit there and say, well, the soldiers should have thought about what they were doing, thought about the fact that they were going to kill someone, and what it meant. Again, here's the problem. When you are in a war, and this is one of the reasons why war is horrible, and war is the absolute, positively, very last thing which should be considered by any political leader, whether it's airstrikes, whether it's an invasion, whether it's sending drones, whether it's sending 400 trainers, quote unquote, to Iraq, or trainers to Syria. It is absolutely, positively hell. And it is extremely tough on those who go to war. And in that situation, it is kill or be killed. You have no other choice. If somebody is going to be pointing a gun at you, or if somebody is going to try to kill one of your friends, one of your comrades, one of your allies, you are going to shoot them. It is an unfortunate situation. It is a horrible situation, and I completely understand why so many military members, so many grunts, so many soldiers come out of the military and support Ron Paul. I completely understand that. I completely understand why military members would deal with post-traumatic stress disorder. Because, good Lord, that's got to be horrible. That has got to be absolutely horrible what they go to. What they go through and go to. And the military members, the folks who are in the military, the soldiers who have fought and died for this country, they're better men than I ever will be. Now, I have no problem with people questioning war. And I have no problem with people saying that, hey, is this war really the right thing to do? I have no problem with that. I have absolutely no problem with that. Here in the U.S., that's called free speech. I'll read it. Congress shall make no law representing an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. I have no problem with people protesting against a war, especially if they don't believe in it. I have no problem with that. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. But I do think that you ought to show, this is just my opinion. And if somebody doesn't want to, that's their choice. And uh-oh. I always get nervous when I hear that, and I see that you're calling in. Hi, Liz.
Why do I make you nervous?
Because I'm guessing that I don't know, you're worried that I'm going to go off the edge or something like that. I mean, this is the Edge of Anarchy here on Vigilant Liberty Radio. I am your guest host, Taylor Millard, and Liz Harrison has called in as well.
Really?
Yeah.
You think I'm assuming you'd go over the edge?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, my. After all this time, you still think, oh, dear. Okay.
Well, you did ask earlier today if you needed to call in.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I don't worry about you going over the edge. I worry about other people going over the edge, but I'm not mentioning any names.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
By the way, I would like to point out something. Before we even get into before Liz weighing in, Michelle Ray, who is as anti-war as they come. She is as anti-war as they come. I think you would agree, correct, Liz?
Oh, yeah.
1 minute ago, somebody please tell me that Michael Moore and Seth Rogen are in that new U.S. envoy going to Cuba and aren't getting return tickets. Hashtag sicko.
Oh.
Now, Dustin Hoyt, from America Our Way. Posted on Facebook, the people criticizing Seth Rogen over his tweet about American Sniper really need to calm the hell down. Rogen tweeted, American Sniper kind of reminds me of the movie that's showing in the third act of Inglourious Basterds. That's the Quentin Tarantino film. He is referring to the Nazi propaganda film showing in the theater about a Nazi sniper in Italy. Does this mean he thinks Kyle is a Nazi? No. Does this mean he thinks that the movie is bad? Maybe. Do his comments in any way tarnish the memory of Kyle? No. Do they suggest maybe the movie was too America? Perhaps. Should people be lumping him in with Michael Moore? Absolutely not.
Oh, I want to. But then again, I don't like Seth Rogen, so I'm biased.
I'm not a big fan of Seth Rogen movies either, but I don't like comedies, so.
Well, see, I'm thinking that the whole Seth Rogen thing is just the green monster.
Oh, he's envious that...
The American Sniper made more money this weekend than he lost for Sony. Yeah. At least I think that was the comparison. Regardless, it was like really obvious that the interview did not end well financially. And the American Sniper obviously will end well, already has.
Yeah.
So.
And I do want to see it, and I just haven't had the chance to see it yet.
See, I don't do movie theaters on movies that I actually really want to see, only because people. How do I put this? I live in a community that no longer has a movie theater. Not that my neighbors are particularly polite. However, they are slightly more polite than the idiots that tend to dwell near the closest movie theater. And yeah, I don't want to put out good money to go to see a movie and then have the idiots be there and be ignorant and make enjoying the movie impossible. So, waste of money. It's better if I'm dealing with the idiots in my own house. It's called pause. You know what I mean? Oh. They only slightly increased the possibility of me going to the movies when they started serving beer. But only slightly, because that just would, lower my level of irritation at the denizens there that have a tendency of not knowing to shut the hell up during a movie. Right. So... it also doesn't help any that it's a steel pole building. And if you're in the wrong theater within the whole collection of them, which there are a few of them that are really, really bad, when the sound gets really, really loud, for whatever reason, the roof starts to literally rattle. And that's annoying to me. You know what I mean? It makes it decrease the sound quality. So I'm like, oh, the selling point, that one's gone. Better sound quality, no. Steel roof ruined that.
Just so you know, Liz, we are going to be taking a break in about 40 seconds, bottom of the hour.
Yeah, I know. I knew that we were heading into a break, which is why I was going into picking on the awful movie theater, because I figured that's better than going and trying to broach something new before the break. See?
Coming up after the break, we are going to have a conversation regarding the State of the Union and the fact that, oh, hey, guess what? There's going to be tax hikes that he wants to do. We shouldn't be surprised at all. At all. But that's going to happen. You are listening to The Edge of Anarchy. I am your guest host, Taylor Millard. Amanda McAllister does say hello. And did say to me, be sure to give props to the Buckeyes. Well, I did at the top of the show.